Tired of corporate mandated gobbledygook? Ditch the propaganda. Listen to the people. Seacoast Row Public Radio. This is Seacoast Row Public Radio. It all started with one interview. A child star revealed his harrowing experience on the set of the Obscura programming production Farmyard Festivities on Ice. He disclosed the cast and staff were paid terrible wages and experienced psychological torture for the duration of the show. This led me down a rabbit hole, eventually securing interviews with some important people from within the Obscura programming and Obscura biotech infrastructure. As far as they know, they confiscated all recordings of these interviews, which is why they told me, "We regret to inform you, the audio is corrupt and the interviews will not be released." Fancy that. All 3 interviews are corrupt audio files. Good thing I recorded backups. And today, I'm uploading them all to my radio feed here on Status Post. Remember, download and redistribute these before they get scrubbed. The following interview is with Miss Vivian B. Johansson, Obscura Biotech's Director of Behavioral Health. Vivian also used to serve as Chief Company Executive at Quick Cure Pharmaceuticals for many years. You'll notice at the end of the interview, I verbally consent to treatment at the Better Days Rehabilitation Facility on Durry Jongo Island. I am confirming now the validity of Vivian's offer. I am currently recording this introduction on the island. I just got through orientation earlier. Everything went well, got a bit of a headache, but I'll survive. I have no idea what's in store for me here. It could be an amazing vacation in paradise, or I could get lobotomized, once I upload these interviews at least. Anyways, stay tuned. I plan on broadcasting from the island daily for the entire year of treatment, internet strength permitting. Be sure to subscribe. The only place you're going to hear or see any of this is on my status post. And turn on notifications too, alright? Now here is my interview with Vivian Johansson. Thanks for taking the time to talk to me today, Miss Johansson.
Well, after Elle messaged me and told me how modest the production was, I just had to see it for myself.
We do what we can within our budget. I'm sure you're not accustomed to small budgets, especially after having served as Chief Company Executive at Quick Cure. What were some of the programs you oversaw there, and why did Obscura Biotech take an interest in you?
Oh, I can answer both questions with one answer. I was the head of the Treatment for Tots program, in which Quick Cure offered a free year of prescriptions for kids under the age of 12. This was to introduce a whole new line of children's formulas. Everything from cough medicine to behavioral modifiers. The free prescriptions offered were primarily calm-me-down capsules to keep kids quiet, attentive, and well-behaved for hours. The stronger doses last through an entire school day or a work shift for adults. Back then, we didn't have high-speed internet, and there was no social media to speak of. But with the wild success of the program, Obscura took notice. They were just getting the green light for the Fabricating Reality initiative, and needed a sort of liaison between Obscura Programming and Obscura Biotech to keep both companies and their respective teams focused.
When I talked to Alistair, he said social media and streaming are the future of entertainment, and told me to ask you about that. You want to elaborate on his remarks?
Social media has changed the way people live, the way they communicate, the way they interact and view the world. Status posts revolutionized culture, which is pretty incredible considering its beginnings as a website for illicit fan art and erotic fan fiction. Okay, imagine instant communication with everyone else on the net. It's the true emergence of a hive mind, a colony brain, if you will. People can ingest information and share their own thoughts instantaneously. And beyond the individual user experience, you have to take into account the vast applications of this tech for corporations. Even status posts themselves monetize the data they harvest from users and then charge those users to promote on the platform. Some argue that the users should get a share of the profits their data generates. But are they doing any of the collecting? No. They're using a free platform, getting worth out of it. As far as I'm concerned, Status post is 100% earning that monetization. And the fact that sites like Status Post can sort of gatekeep what people say, what they post, and what they promote, well, it's just great that a benevolent titan like Status Post is in control, and not the masses themselves. As far as streaming, the distributor gets the first profits and final say, so again, great. Status Post Video and Status Post Music cost about 10 credits a month each and offer endless content. So much entertainment. They choose what they allow on their platform, they can ban anything unwieldy, and they can distribute profits as they see fit to their content creators. This keeps the content creators in line, desperate and hungry, so they're always churning out new material to feed themselves and pay rent. So, take all of this into account. Just one company. Status Post social media, Status Post video, Status Post music. Just imagine the degree of social engineering that can be accomplished.
What if the social engineering, or reality fabrication, as Alistair had called it, doesn't work? What if people see through Obscura programming?
There are plenty of ways you can still achieve your desired result without absolute compliance from the masses. In fact, low compliance percentage is a contingency we constantly account for. If you have a plan A, you need a plan B through P ready to go as well. If we had abandoned this silly interview to do something that mattered, anything else, would you have had a backup plan? Or would you have just rambled some inane monologue to fill the dead air?
Yeah, that's a good point. I don't have a backup. So definitely the second one there. Inane mumbling or rambling or whatever you said. Could you give me an example of a contingency plan you've actually used in the past?
Oh, I cannot disclose any actual contingency plans, even for a show with such a small viewer count, but I can give you a hypothetical scenario. Let's see. Oh, so, for example, say QuickCure developed a new flu shot and invested billions of credits in the process. Then they invest billions more on Status Post and Obscura programming marketing. But people still didn't comply. Of course, it's their right to abstain. Maybe they choose to boost their immunity systems naturally. To stay well hydrated, to get proper rest, daily exercise, and sunlight, to maintain a balanced and nutritious diet, sure. But who has the time? Who can afford to check all of those boxes? So we feel the need and cook up a shot that gives people a potential shield from the sickness, mass produce and sell it. What we're offering people is the convenience of stripping away their own self-accountability and staying healthy. Who wouldn't want less responsibility in their lives? To not worry about their health, their finances, their future? And if we can make a little money off it, well, great. We will invest those credits back into further progressing society. It's a win-win of win-wins. But what happens if more people avoid the shot than get it? What if we have all these shots, this massive investment just sitting around because too many are refusing to comply? Well, maybe we can strike a contract with the world's Cynthian government. Maybe we can figure out a way to release it into the water supply. Maybe we can release a few 100 million biologically engineered mosquitoes carrying the vaccine. Then they can change the DNA of the wild mosquitoes. Maybe we can alter the entire ecosystem for the better. Now that is taking lemons and making lemonade. Contingency formulation can be so fun and rewarding.
Don't you think there's a conflict of interest with all of these giant companies working together? People were really put off by how many different branches and fields Paragon were dipping into. If Obscura Biotech, Obscura Programming, and QuickCure are all working together, isn't that the same sort of corporate monopoly as Paragon?
We're all separate entities. Obscura Programming is actually owned by Sabbath Broadcasting, and Obscura Biotech and QuickCure are collaborative, but have very different infrastructures and entirely different societal functions. But I suppose you could say that QuickCure, Obscura Programming, Sabbath Broadcasting Network, and Obscura Biotech have a great symbiotic relationship. We all help each other, and that's how it should be. A powerful network of companies who have the best interests of Scythe in mind, working together to steer society in the right direction.
But if you're all invested in each other's companies, and quite heavily at that, and you're all working towards the same core interest, how is that not a singular entity? If one company fails, it's mutual assured destruction. If one company succeeds, you all profit. It is one entity. It's just a multi-headed dragon, or demon, if you will.
Oh, that is quite a manipulative technique you're using there, to suggest the companies making the world a better place are demonic. I think it's time you get some treatment.
What are you talking about, treatment?
Treatment for that mental sickness you've displayed, that arrogance. Obscura Biotech has developed a brand new, state-of-the-art re-education program. It's currently being tested at a Better Days rehab facility on the tropical paradise Durijango. And we have chosen you to become one of our very first test subjects. After all, the program was designed specifically for people like you.
People like me, huh?
Yes, people who feel disgruntled with the world Synthian government and the corporations it sponsors. People who try to frame the work of the great people as the mechanizations of evil. We will prove our intentions are just and give you an all-expenses-paid trip to this resort. You will be allowed to document your experience. You can even live stream the entire trip on Status Post, if you have enough devices charged and on the ready. But the condition is that you must complete the re-education program. It's a full-year commitment and requires the signing of an ironclad contract. You will not be allowed to leave the premises.
Yeah, it sounds crazy. I can actually document everything? And anything I find, I can broadcast to the world? You're not going to confiscate it and not air it like the interviews, are you?
Oh, absolutely. I just need an audio clarification saying, I hereby forego my human rights to Obscura Biotech for the period of 1 year.
I hereby forgo my human rights to Obscura Biotech for the period of 1 year.
Excellent. You are now bound by an audio contract for the period of 1 year, starting exactly the moment your plane touches down on Durijango. We've already arranged transportation, and they should be at your front door now. You've got 1 hour to pack all the clothes, amenities, recording equipment, and comfort items you need. Please allow the Obscura Biotech representative to monitor the packing process. I look forward to seeing you at the island. Be advised. This interview and all others will be confiscated, scrubbed, and taken off the air. Have a safe flight.
Ah, crap. What did I just sign up for?